Alright, hi everyone. So tonight we'll review the project.el feature of Emacs and see why it's useful to have it and what it can do for you. So a little overview first. So the project.el was added since Emacs 25, so it's baked in. It came after its main competitor, which is project.el, which came out in 2011. project.el is more popular, and project.el has the disadvantage of not having great documentation. So a lot of people probably don't even know it's there, which is why I'm making this video. So in a nutshell, project.el is simply a project management package, and it lets you handle project tasks easily, like searching through a project and managing project buffers. So we'll just go through the main functionality of it, and so I'll just start by opening a project. And the way to do this is to hit Ctrl+X PP, which is actually project switch. So if we do that, then I'm asked to select a project, and these are all the projects I already have registered. Now I'm going to register one, just to show you. Actually, I'm going to wipe out my existing project config. So let's start a shell. Alright, and so here we have the projects file. Emacs.d projects. Here we go. So those are all the projects I've registered. I'm going to wipe them out. No. Okay, kill projects. Let's exit this. Alright, so pp, select project, and there should be none this time. Of course there are some. Let's just restart Emacs for now. Alright, so Ctrl+X PP. Oh, it doesn't like the changes I've made to the file. Alright, I'll just remove it completely. Now it's happy. Okay, so when you start, you'll have nothing. There's no projects registered. And you'll need to register it expects you to register your projects one by one. There's another way that we'll look at later, but for now let's just register a project. So I'll do that. Then I'll go into my projects folder and I'll open Barb, and then it proposes me a few things. So I can find a file, I can open the version control buffer, a shell. I'll just find a file for the moment. Let's open that. Alright, so now if I do Ctrl+X PP again, you can see that the project is actually registered and it shows up. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this project. But basically, let's try opening another file. So I'll hit Ctrl+X PF and key. I'll re-enable that thing. Ctrl+X PF, and then it will present me with all the files it can list. Well, it will complete all the files it can list in the folder. So I'm going to open another Rust file. Alright, I've got both of them in front of me, and I can actually I'm going to hide one. I can switch buffers within the folder, within the project, by hitting Ctrl XPB. So Ctrl XPB. Does that show up? Not really. Maybe I'll disable. That's kind of disappointing. Okay, I'll disable keypression because it's using some CPU as well, for some reason. That's the wrong one. So Ctrl XPB will show me the list of open buffers for the project. And so I've set up my Rust language server to use Eglot, so that's why you see it here. But you don't see any other buffers like Scratch or messages. It's all restricted to the project buffers. So I can easily switch between them like this, which is convenient. And so we can also kill the entire project. So if I do Ctrl XPK, it asks me if I want to delete all 7 buffers for Barb, and let's go ahead. And here we go. So now everything is done. If I open my list of buffers there, Eglot's still here. Everything else is gone. Okay, let's try another way to register projects, which is to crawl through a directory and register everything that's inside it. So I have it right here. So if I do Alt X and project, remember projects under, that's it. It will ask me for a directory. So I put everything under my projects folder. So I'm going to put that and just enter. And it's found 12 projects. So let's try switching to a project again. Ctrl XPP, and they're all here. So I'm going to switch to another one, like FlyMake. Find file, FlyMake. Okay. And now I'm going to switch to another project again. So I've opened this project. So currently FlyMake is my project. So if I want to work on a different project, I'll just do Ctrl XPP, and instead we'll go back to Barb. Okay, and we'll open main.rs. Alright. So let's see what happened. So it opened main.rs and it kept FlyMake open. So if I want to get rid of the FlyMake project, I have to do it manually with Ctrl XPK. Alright. So the next thing I can do is basically global search and replace. So we'll have a look at that. So let's say I want to find all occurrences of Barb context. So I'm going to hit Ctrl XP and G, find regex Barb context, and here I can go through them in this xref window. So if I just hit N and P, or the arrow keys, I can actually the arrow keys don't move. That's interesting. So N and P will focus the different places in the where Barb context was found in the project. Okay, Q to exit that. And now let's do a project-wide replacement. So it'd be Ctrl XPR. Oops. And we're going to replace Barb context with just context. Alright, and now it works a bit like the interactive replacement that's usual in Emacs, and so I can just press Y for each of them, or N to skip. or I can press question mark to replace all of them. So I'm going to do that. Replace all of them, and now they're all replaced. Okay. Part main. Alright, let's try again. Oh. Yep. Alright. Next up, we can do project compilation. So if I do, so this is a Rust project which compiles, so that's handy. So oops, sorry, hit the wrong key there. So Control XPC will show the compilation dialog in the mini buffer. So I'll just do a cargo build. That will build from the root of the project. It's not happy. It can't find cargo. That is not good. Where did I put this first? Nope. Alright, that's not expected. I'll just add a make file maybe. Bob. Build. I'll do. Alright, let's try again. There we go, so that worked. Okay. Finally, we have version control. Well, not finally, but almost. We have version control, so there's two major ones. I'll start with the killer feature of Emacs these days, which is Magit or Magit. You can open it with Control XG. It doesn't really have any special integration with project.el as far as I can tell. The only thing it does is it picks up on the project current dir. So if I run, if I don't remember if it's a variable or a function, project. Maybe it's a function. That's it, project root. No. Project current. I think that's the one. So if I run, so let's kill that, run project current. Right, so I think that's what's happening. Whenever I open up Magit, Magit will look into the project current and will use that as its root. So that's the extent of the integration really between Magit and project.el. But it works, so Magit's perfectly usable as usual. Another one that's better integrated is VC mode, which project.el actually has a key binding for. So if you hit Control XPV, you'll see the you'll enter the VCDR mode, the VCDR buffer, so you can see the changes you've made. I can see that I've made those changes over here and those changes over there. And I'll probably do another video on VC mode, which is I guess isn't used that much, especially now that Magit is so popular. But it's quite useful, especially for people who don't use Git. It supports multiple backends. So there's that, and then finally there's a shortcut to open up a shell, Control XPS, which will start up a shell in the project root. Alright, so I've been a user of project.el for maybe a year or two. Oops, I think I've killed the project. It's fine. I've been a user of project.el for maybe a year or two, and I've only switched to project.el recently out of curiosity, and I'd say the main advantage of project.el is that you'll find a lot more documentation and help for it. It also has maybe better integration with other libraries as opposed to project.el. But all in all, I think in day-to-day usage, once you go beyond the initial learning, things get a lot easier, and project.el is easily as productive as project.el. So I'd recommend anyone who's interested to have a look at it. Alright, that was it for this session. Thanks for watching, and next one will probably be VC, actually, VC mode. And bye bye.